The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Happiness Jungle with yours truly, the Chief Happiness Officer, Lyn-Dee Eldridge. Namaste today. That's what today is all about. Namaste, huh? Yeah. I am very blessed and very excited to have on the show with me today Mrs. Barb Tremlett from New Hampshire. She's spiritual. I'm going to have her share her story. And 8 years ago, Barbara and I met, and you have inspired me. And you said something to me that has stuck with me through my trying times, because everyone thinks that I have no trying times, which is just hilarious to me.
Of course.
And every time I go through some hard times, I remember you saying, yes, you can.
It's true.
So,
you can.
Hi, Barb.
Hi.
Oh, my goodness. Super excited that you're here with me. And one of the biggest things that I want to start off with you is that You've always given me those charms in life, if you will. So before we get started, I really want to go ahead and I want to give you the heart that I give out all over the world, because I know that inside of you is the most amazing energy. So I just want to transfer my energy to you with this heart and realize how special you have always been to me and you are to me today. So let's get started with today.
And you impressed me also. I thought about you a lot through the years. So don't think it was just one-sided. It was a two-way excitement.
Well, cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
There we go. So the other thing that you've given me was this plaque, and I believe you've just let us borrow it for the show, right?
No, it's your gift.
It's my gift?
I'm leaving it with you, yes.
Oh, my God. Guys, this is what it said. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us, by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Another piece of treasure. So, Barbara, share with us what has been going on with you and what is keeping you on this happy level, because you've had some stuff going on that are very heart-wrenching, right?
Yes,
and other people are going to be able to relate to you.
Absolutely.
That's what this is about.
Well, I feel that, I feel also like you. I'm not particularly a religious fanatic. I respect all religions, and I believe that they all have their own truth, but I believe in spirituality. I believe in the bigness of the whole universal light, and I believe in the universal light, and that some call God. And I use it on a daily basis. It breathes me. It just breathes me. And I feel that as I get older, I'm living in my passion. I'm in my stride. And what I found is before I was letting my brain block me from the goodness I was giving out or maybe putting a judgment on it. And once I realized I don't have to even think anymore, God just flows through me. And inspiration is all around me.
Let me stop right there. Share with everybody, because people are looking at you and go, that's what I want. That's what I'm looking for. Give us a golden tip of how they're able to take that deep breath and start, because Rome wasn't built in a day.
Oh, no.
How do they start that process? And then I want you to continue on, because this is so, I can't wait.
Well, I started a process called the beginner's expert, which means you take a beginner and you give them the first baby steps. My belief system and what I help my clients with is that if you really believe in something bigger than yourself and you believe in yourself, nothing can stop you. So it took a long time to get that way. At one point, I was in a place where I couldn't even visualize myself walking down the street without falling. I had been pre-programmed by my dad that not good enough. You're lucky if you'll ever marry a nice husband. You'll be lucky if you have a house. Like I heard some not nice things growing up. But every time he would say that, something inside me would say, "That's not true. That's not true." And I'm like, okay, well, if something inside of me says it's not true, I'm going to put Dad to the side. What is it that's that little still voice in me that's giving me confidence or reminding me I'm special? And so the more I opened myself up to spiritual energy, the better I felt. And then when I started working on my self-confidence, the better I felt. And then one day I just woke up and said, I'm a changed person. Now that was level 1. I mean, I've gone through lots of years of this, but
Did you start listening to audios? Did you start reading? What was it that started giving you the gravitation and the roots to have your feet planted so no matter what people were telling you?
it's okay. So I can give you the long story of how I did it and how I would not advise people to do it.
Right.
I picked up every self-help book I could possibly get on every form of life possible. Self-help on not to be angry, self-help on how to be, have a nice health, like self-help on how to change yourself inside. I probably set a record. I probably bought all of them. And that's before Barnes and Nobles and before it was easy to just go buy a book. It was before audiobook. So what I found when I was going through that process is they all did little layers of shifting for me, but I was craving something bigger. I wanted bigger than just a little shift. So that's when I started getting into more of the spiritual teachers like Abram Hicks, Esther Hicks, Wayne Dyer. Also, we had a gentleman from Singapore that came and did some spiritual education at the center. I learned a lot from Yamesh. So there's been, through my life, I feel gravitated toward all these spiritual. I left religion, I left self-help, and I went over to this enlightened kind of feeling of, if I'm reading it and I feel like it's a struggle for me to get there, then it's not right. If I read it and go, oh, I could do that, I know it's right.
Wow. Stop struggling when you're reading. Stop struggling. I love that.
Yeah.
If it's so hard, you're not going to digest it anyway. You're not going to fill yourself with it.
No.
So
if you're reading a book and you feel challenged by it, just put it down and come back and look at it in another 6 months. Because energetically, the way we all rise in our vibration, you may read something today and it may not resonate at all. But you may go through a little bit of a spiritual journey or fall in love or have a baby or start a new job. And something about that boost your energy, boost your vibration up a little, and you can go back and pick up that same book and now you can read it. So if you're struggling to read a book, it's not the right time. So I would say, look at it, or even what we do a lot.
don't stop reading.
Don't stop reading, but
Just put it to the side.
Go to Barnes and Nobles or somewhere else where there's a variety of books and kind of all of a sudden, of all the titles, which one is like, wow, that sounds interesting. Try something else. Don't just not.
Right.
But that growth, because we raise vibrationally, because I have a master's in metaphysics and I try to help people understand metaphysically what the difference is.
Right.
So if you're raising yourself in vibration and you have a hard time and you drop, if you're higher in vibration, you jump back up easily. But if you're a lower vibration, you have a hard time and you drop, you can't get up as easily. So when you find things that make you sing and make you happy and make you vibrate and make you feel so good about being alive, those are the things you want to focus on.
Wow.
And I'll give you for instance, if I'm having a bad day and I really want to bring myself up, all I do is close my eyes and remember the first time my husband kissed me.
Oh.
That energy, that electrical shock that goes through your body, that's what you want to go for. That soothing, I feel so comforted in every way of my life feeling, and then that will raise your vibration. So I teach clients how to find what is the vibration that matches for me. There's certain colors I won't wear because when I wear them I feel kind of eh. But
good point.
And other colors
I did a
like
video on
today.
that.
So color, there's all different ways to raise your vibration. There's aromatherapy, there's crystals, there's Reiki, there's prayer. There's all these different forms to raise your vibration. Music is definitely the number one.
Let's go to, you wake up in the morning, and if you don't have access to these that you're speaking of, you nailed it on the head, is that get up and put on your right colors.
Colors are amazing.
I like that.
Colors are amazing.
Because that's an easy step for you all to do.
Absolutely. And one of the things I coach a lot when I'm working with clients is I strongly encourage every human being, and I have it, to get a piece of paper or an index card, and you write the top 5 things that when you think about it, your heart just sings.
Oh.
When my grandson was born, my heart sang. When I look at some of the beautiful sunset that God puts out there, my heart just sings. So you write down your list of what those things are. When you're really in a good space, write them all down. And then when you're in a bad space, you pick that card up, you read it, and you feel it. It's not just the words, but you allow yourself to feel the juiciness of
you
that
wrote it.
sense.
It's you.
But you want to vibrate your vibration. So let's say, what is one of your top ones that make you just sing, your heart sing?
Oh, it definitely is laughing with my granddaughters.
So that vibration of laughing with your granddaughters raises you up.
100%.
So you're in a trench somewhere and you're having a hard time getting up there. If you close your eyes for a few seconds and start thinking about your granddaughter and laughter,
Right.
it will raise your vibration. So wherever you're at, it won't be as bad anymore. It's one of the ways to shift yourself up.
Or thinking about you, and yes, I can.
Yes,
That's
you can.
definitely on the list.
Oh, I'm on your list.
Yes, you are.
Good.
That's good stuff. I wanna go out to something that's going to touch everybody's hearts, because everybody has something going on, and we've all lost loved ones before. And from my heart to yours, I'm very sorry for your loss.
Thank you. Thank you.
And here you are today, bringing the energy with you. I think your husband's here with us, by the way.
I would not doubt it. He's very playful.
Yeah. Well, and I want you to share with people, because it's not a hoax. It's not a hokey pokey. It really does exist when you allow yourself the permission to grieve.
Absolutely.
I want you to share how you were able to grieve and how you're able to snap back, and how you know for a fact that you're going to move forward because he wants you to. And everybody, your past, our people that have gone to another life, they want you to move forward. So Barbara's going to give you some really great tips how we could do that.
Do you want me to tell them the story I told you?
I do.
All right. I'm a very sane person, and I know sometimes when you talk about spirituality and the levels that I reach when I educate, that people look at you as hokum pokum or whatever. And it's not true. I started with an MBA. I'm an MBA. I'm a business person. I want to see the analytics. I'm black and white. But then I received a master's in metaphysics because I needed to understand how science and spirituality are married. Mm-hmm. So I have both sides of my brain working. And my husband died 7 weeks ago yesterday from ALS, and we were there until his last breath and held his hand. My son held his left hand, my daughter held his right, and I held his chest and the back of his neck as he passed. And I think that the closeness is amazing, but what was even more beautiful in that is that he came back to see me after 6 days, because he was under 100 pounds when he died, and he came back to see me on the 6th day, and he laid next to me in the bed, and he was I could physically touch him. And I didn't even look at his face, I was just looking at his body, and he wanted me to touch him, and he said, "I'm okay, you're okay, we're okay." And then he, after a few seconds, he just dissolved in front of me, and he was no longer physically there. And I called my priest, you know, because you got to check those things. And she said, "These things happen.
Yeah.
These things happen." So I'm like, well, that was amazing. And then about 2 weeks later, because I was grieving, just like most people do when they lose their spouse, I was grieving very deeply. And I went in to get craniosacral done on me because I just needed some of that energy shift. And I felt something moving as I was laying on the table, massage table with a sheet over me. I felt something moving between my legs, which was unusual because there's nobody in the room. And then all of a sudden I felt something on my stomach. Oh. And when I looked up, my husband was laying across my stomach like this. He had big, beautiful eyes and a big smile. If you knew Doug Tremlett, you'd be like, oh yeah. And all he said was, "When are you going to start taking care of you the way you took care of me?" And I was in shock. And I said, "I don't know." Because it was the truth.
Right.
But since that day, I've been getting messages from people all over that, you know, he said this and he said that and he said this. And it's words that nobody would know except me.
Right.
So I know that those messages are true and they're coming to me. So it's really funny because he does come and visit. He is very playful and he is a big influence. And not that I don't go through my days of hard, I had a couple hard days this week, but then I remind myself, like, yeah, that's terrible, but remember when he first kissed you and you went and just all over your body? And I'm like, oh yeah. So I bring myself back up. Oh. So what I do is, I'm a coach and I believe I can only coach you if I've experienced something.
Yes.
And bereavement is something I never touched in coaching before. I would always refer them out. And now I feel like, whoa, I am learning this beautiful dance with someone who's on the other side and visiting, and I'm learning so much from it. Now I feel like I'm going to be able to help more people.
Well, you're not going to, you are.
I am.
You've already started.
Yeah.
When you became what you are experiencing, you became the teacher because others were starting to follow you as you were going through your grieving. So thank you for showing people that, yes, absolutely, you have permission to grieve.
Oh, absolutely.
You just don't give yourself permission to have been taken with them.
Right, you don't get stuck in it.
Yeah, don't get stuck in it. And I'm with you. Spiritual, Very, very spiritual. Religious, no. Too many rules, too many crazy things that go on.
They're man-made.
They're man-made, exactly.
So when the earth was created and all the energy came down, this little group chose their rules, this group chose their rules, and they manufactured
no one's living by their rules. That's the whole kit and caboodle.
Well, and whose rules are right, and they want to be
rules are
like,
right.
Most killing is over religious beliefs. So
And why?
yeah. So I shun that word a little bit, and I just stay with spirituality.
I like it. And I really believe that in today's world, more people are going over for spirituality because
Absolutely.
we're realizing that, you know what, we are a unit. We're a unity. So when, the tragedy happened in New York City, the 9/11, what happened? No one looked at each other as a religious. Nobody gave each other a symbol. Unity came into play, and we all ended up coexisting. And the same things happen with many tragedies all over the world. I use New York because it's September, I guess. Didn't mean to, but it's amazing when you allow yourself to become spiritual because you release everything else that's binding you. I believe that.
Well, absolutely. Because with spirituality, like anything else, the law of attraction says what you put out, you get more of.
Yeah.
And even though it's quoted in the Bible, it's true on all metaphysical levels. When two or more are gathered for the same purpose or intention, the intention is amplified. So if you put 20 people in here, the amplification of that is huge on the change you can make. That's why brainstorming and stuff like that is so powerful. Use your brain, but it's still a law of attraction concept, but it's spirituality. So when 9/11 happened, so many people jumped to help. That God energy, that spiritual energy came out of them. It was extremely amplified through the whole world.
The whole world.
The whole world. It wasn't just New York. And so for us to even feel that, if we go back and relive that, we can feel the spirituality again. We can feel the energy. We can feel the love again. And what's important about that is repetition of practicing that feeling is raising the vibration. So we were speaking to somebody before we came in, and I said, the law of attraction is what you think about, you bring about, correct? So if you're practicing love, you get love. If you're practicing anger, you get anger. You're practicing spirituality, you get spirituality. But when you have so many people over the whole world doing it, you're actually amplifying the whole world's energy, and you're affecting people that aren't even on the same island with you. It's like the 100 monkey theory. There's the island with the monkeys.
Oh my gosh, I haven't heard that in forever. Go ahead, share that.
So the 100 monkey theory is there's 100 monkeys on an island. One monkey goes and puts his food in the water to clean it and taste it, and he's doing this. And another monkey says, well, what's he doing? And the monkey goes and they do it. So after the 100th monkey on this big island starts doing it, then the next island, their monkeys start doing it. So the energy, the amplified energy of what they're doing in the concept went over to the next island, and those monkeys started doing it, and it just grew from there.
And it became very contagious.
Very contagious.
It was a spiritual act of kindness within themselves.
We can put it that way.
I really believe that. There was no evil.
No.
It was nourishing.
It was all pure.
And so I love that.
So metaphysics says what we put out there, we get more of. And so we talked about the harmonic conversions and all of that stuff that has happened. So the more people like myself go out and teach, and the more those people go out and spread the word, and the more those people go home and spread the word, the more it's amplified. So I can talk to one group of 10 and be affecting 100 within 2 weeks, like they've just amplified out. And that raises the overall vibration.
Wow.
And so we're working toward that level of enlightenment. All of us are. All of us are together.
Your center does so much and more. And you were sharing with me that now you're doing something extremely special for our veterans out there.
Right.
And I'm overwhelmed with joy because our veterans, for whatever reason, even way back in the day when they came back from war, and we were rejecting them and we were telling them, no, you're not going to be able to work and go figure it out yourself. And we were disrespecting them. Now we honor them.
We do. We do.
But you really honor them. And that's what excites me because I want that to be a contagious act. So for everybody listening out there, in your area, there are holistic centers, and I want you to gravitate towards this because if this is contagious and you could bring it to help another veteran relax,
absolutely.
Amen. Share with me now.
Yay. Okay, so it's probably going to be November 1st because that's, veterans, the Veterans Honor Month. But because my husband died of ALS and because it was military related, he worked on nuclear warheads, so it was chemically induced ALS. I've always had a place in my heart for veterans. So what we're doing at my center is we just moved Doug's medical massage chair to the facility. We're getting it all set up and aligned. And starting in November, all military people and all veterans can come into the center once a month and receive a free massage in this chair. It's a 20-minute session. And so they can come once a month and receive a free one. And we know we're going to be busy. We know we're going to be bringing a lot of people through the doors, but we're really happy about finding our special niche to help.
I like that.
And then the spiritual coaching, the massage, all of that's already there too. But this is specifically directed at helping the veterans getting some kind of free service for that. And then we're setting up a nonprofit. Hopefully it'll be done by the end of the year, where anybody with ALS will be able to come in and get either extremely discounted or free service for their whole therapy and helping them on how to deal with ALS, and also the caregivers. Because I understand what compassion fatigue is. I just went through it. And I'm on the other side of it going, wow, I gradually walked into it so slowly I didn't even know I did it.
Right.
Until all of a sudden I woke up one day and went, what happened to my whole body?
Right.
What happened to my mind? And so now I want to be, and so do the people I work with, want to support the caregivers also of those people taking care of ALS. Because when you're told your loved one has a diagnosis and there's no cure, it's hard. It's really hard. I don't care what your spiritual belief is, it's hard. And he was able to maintain for a long time. And then one day he came to me and he said, I think I made a mistake. I said, what kind of mistake did you make? And he said, I let someone get in my head, and now I think I'm going to die. So he was able to maintain that belief that he was okay. But shortly after that, he got a lot worse. And then 18 months later, he died.
Wow.
So as long as we could keep him there, it was great. So the law of attraction is huge. The natural healing ability that we teach there is huge. And in fact, for the people who have ALS, there's a whole protocol on what kind of nutrition to keep your lymph nodes up, what kind of exercise. It's like it's a whole protocol. And we want to be able to work with the veterans to see how we can pull them in. But we're starting with free massage.
I love that, because you're a product of what you teach and you coach. And you're so right. In order for you to help anybody, you have to live it. You cannot read it. I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, I'm a speaker, I'm an author as well. And everything that I do, I train on, I write. It's because it has happened or happening on good, indifferent. So it's very simple for me to share like it is with you. I am so enlightened by the giver in you.
Thank you.
You've always been that giver, and nothing has changed. If anything, you've just grown. You've grown so much more because of life experiences and what we go through.
Absolutely.
So that's exciting. For me, I want you to share with everybody, how can they get a hold of you? If you're on Amazon, I want them to know, because what you have to offer is a gift. And I want everyone to know, where can they find my Barb? Because I know where to find you, but I want them to be able to find you.
Well, I can't hide if I want to. Even if you Google my name, I'm everywhere. So Barb Tremlett is my name, and my company is the Holistic Self-Care Center in Nashua. And if you Google that, it comes right up. I did write one book. It still never got past publishing. We'll work on that again. But I've learned so much with dealing with my husband with ALS. There's a whole bunch coming. The Beginner's Guide for ALS is one of the things that I'm going to be writing. And after we get the nonprofit set up, we're going to be working directly with ALS.org. So I'm glad that the Ice Bucket Challenge brought information forward about ALS.
That was crazy.
And all that money went into research, and that's good and great.
Right.
But what we're doing for ALS is the people that have it already, that are already sick, that need help, and that maybe don't have the medical care to get what they need. Or, I'll be honest with you, medical care doesn't pay for the education, a lot of things we do.
Sure.
And it's out of pocket. So why should somebody that has ALS or be in that position not get the services they deserve?
Right.
That's why we threw them up front for the ALS. So I'm Barb Tremlett, the Holistic Self-Care Center, 603-883-1490. And I have staff there most of the time, or an answering machine. And I strongly encourage anybody to come in just to get a mini consult. You can get it for free. But if you come in and you say, I want to have more spirituality, or I can't get rid of this chronic cold, or whatever, we find the avenue, because mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional, they're all related.
They are all related.
And what we do is we identify which one of those four is your weakness.
Right.
And then we help you work with the weakness. Because once you take care of that weakness, the symptoms go away.
Yes.
And that's our goal, is to help from every level.
And I love that because I know that when I walked into your center, number one, you feel the nutrition. Immediately, you just feel it. Now, you don't know what that nutrition value is going to bring for you, but you could feel a healing. As soon as you walk in, it's the most, it lifts you. It's like you're lifted. It's crazy what your environment has.
Right.
And then I was taken into the back where we kind of did like a Namesti group.
Yeah.
And it was so tranquil. And it was at a time of my life where I was kind of really stressing. And it was amazing because you said, please go around and look, you know, and enjoy the environment. We're waiting for everybody to show up. And I said, okay, I'm going to take her up on that. You also gave us water. It was the first thing. Why water? Why not something else?
Water is something that most of us are chronically dehydrated. A lot of people that walk around in a brain fog don't realize it's because they're dehydrated. And a lot of people that are sick all the time don't realize it's because they're dehydrated. Should I go on? Most people don't drink enough water. And water is what enhances the immune system, keeps the brain working, keeps the organs working, keeps our skin soft, and gets rid of wrinkles. I mean, it's for so many different things.
Yeah.
So water is the number one thing that water and breath are the two things that we talk about the most when you come in for an intake. Because most people don't breathe. They're like, all the time, and we want you to breathe in and we want you to breathe out and feel all that energy moving through your body. It stimulates a lot of things.
It really does. So if you think that this is hokey pokey, I'm going to challenge you to try it. Just try it. You got nothing to lose.
Got nothing to lose.
Right?
Yeah.
You have nothing to lose. I encourage you to go to Barb's website. I encourage you just to start. If someone's saying, oh, come on, you believe in that? Then guess what? They're not the inner circle that you should be speaking with either.
I agree.
Right? It's time to leave those flapjacks.
Well, yeah, energetically speaking, you can stay in the norm band where you are, or you can jump up to the more positive, or you can stay in the negative. And the people who come and hang out with us wind up leaving the negatives behind and raising their vibration.
And growing.
Absolutely.
Growing, and then people are going to look at you like, my goodness, you've changed. No, you just stayed behind.
Well, we say either they want to join you or they want to pull you back down.
Right.
Or they just leave.
Hello. Namaste, everybody. We're getting ready to close this show, The Happiness Jungle. Barb, I cannot tell you how gravitated I feel right now. I just feel so fabulous. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And I know this is not the last. This is one of many. And I'm so thankful that you're a part of my inner circle.
Thank you.
Because when you gravitate towards the people that inspire you, you start to inspire. And never allow anybody to take away your inner beliefs, your inner soul, or your inner strengths. And no matter what you're going through, we all go through the same challenges. Namaste, everybody. Namaste.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.